Howdy there, guys, and welcome into today's video. Hope you guys are doing great out there. As always, we only have a few trading days left in the month of May, and so I'm already starting to think about the next month, okay? I'm already starting to think about June of 2021, and my plan is to put about $100,000 into the stock market during the month of June, okay? And so in this video here today, I thought let's go ahead and talk about a ton of different stocks that I'm thinking about potentially making moves in this upcoming month, and let me talk about these stocks individually, okay? We might talk about, I don't know, maybe like 7 or 10 different stocks in this video here today. So hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, all that I ask is that you guys smash the thumbs up button. That lets me know you appreciate a video like this. And it also helps out huge in the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate all you guys for being here as always. Much love. If you're looking to join my private stock group, the private Discord chat, and you want to learn more about that, check out the first pinned comment down there. If you want to join our new value-loaded newsletter/email list, check out the second pinned comment down there. That's absolutely free, and that is amazing, okay? We literally just started that, okay? So yeah, once again, we only got a few days left in the trading month of May, and we're already going to be into June, man. The year's going by pretty darn fast, okay? Coinbase. So Coinbase is the first stock of the bunch that I'm thinking about potentially buying this upcoming month. So it's by far and away my worst stock by a mile, okay? By far and away my worst stock. It's just done awful. Okay, awful so far, okay? We're down $32,000 on the stock. It has just gone bad, okay? And needless to say, what do I usually like to do when a stock I own that I already liked at a certain price goes down 15, 20%? Usually I like to buy, right? And so when I look at Coinbase and I look at this stock and I say, if this stock, especially if it goes down any more, how do I not put a little more money in this stock? It doesn't have to be, I don't have to double up my position and, buy another 344 shares, but I think I've got to at least buy, let's say 156 shares, right? Maybe buy roughly, another 50% of shares, maybe a little under that, right? Another 150 shares, 156 shares. That would put me at about 500 shares total for Coinbase. I look at this business model and I say they're growing revenues exponentially, they're growing profitability exponentially. They have so many business lines they're likely going to get into. And so I look at the stock and let me be quite clear, I like it. I like it a lot. And especially as a long-term investor who's thinking about stocks for many, many years out, right? And so if this one continues to dip or even stays around here in June, I have to buy some more shares of this. There's no way I can just sit on my hands in this one and not add some more shares, especially when it's by far and away my worst stock. And it has gone bad. Okay, let's be very clear about that. Next stock up here is potentially GGTTF. So what's interesting about GGTTF, okay, this is the main account I hold GGTTF in, okay, which by the way, they're a high-end player in the MJ space, okay, and they have built a pretty successful business that's growing rather rapidly. They have potential to expand into other markets over time. They're basically, for the most part, just in Canada right now, although they did just get an export deal recently to, I believe it was Israel, if I recall. And balance sheet's an amazing position, by the way. It's absolutely tremendous. Valuations come down a lot in this stock recently. And, this account, we're doing amazing, up 71,000, but this account here, not so much, right? We're down 9,300 in this account. So what I'm thinking is possibly adding a little more shares in this account. Maybe getting up to 88,888 shares. Maybe getting up to 99,999 shares. That's what I'm thinking about here. Getting my cost basis down a little bit on this one. I'm a big believer in this company. I'm a big believer in this business model. I'm a big believer in the CEO and their expansion opportunities in front of this business. They're in a great capital position, man. I think the world can be theirs as far as the high end of the market. They just have to continue to build out that team bigger and bigger and stay focused on executing. And I think this business could be potentially a several $100 million company, if not a $1 billion plus company down the road. And when you look at the current market capitalization, that's pretty interesting from a risk-reward standpoint for somebody like myself, especially when they're already in a good financial position. So a lot of the risk around a bankruptcy or something like that is mitigated in a stock like this, even though they're a smaller company, when you have such an amazing balance sheet with this company's cash loaded compared to their market cap and virtually no debts now. So that's just beautiful when it comes to this business model. And so, yeah, G-Tech, needless to say, this is definitely one I could potentially put some more money in. Let me know if you guys, that's a stock you've invested in, or if you're interested in that stock or anything like that. I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section. As always, Tesla my Tesla. So when it comes to Tesla my Tesla, okay, here's how I feel about this one. So, I mean, this is a stock, let's be very clear. NASDAQ falls 5-10%. This is a stock that could hit the 400s, right? If this stock hits 400 something, as hard as it would be, I might have to pick up some shares of Tesla My Tesla, okay? And, it's not the easiest thing to buy a stock when you're up 1,260% on. Let's be very, very clear about that, and up $430,000. It's not at all. But when I do look at kind of their business model, and when I look at what I think is going to be future profitability for this business model, it gets me rather darn excited, okay? And when you compound that with, let's say, the stock falls down in the 400 range, right? That begins to get a more attractive risk reward now in this stock, okay? So I'm going to watch it closely during the month. This is one of those stocks. It was flirting with maybe potentially going down with the 400 just a few weeks ago. So to think this stock couldn't go to $400 or something like that, I think would be extremely misguided. That could definitely happen in the stock. It's on my radar. If it happens, believe it or not, Jeremy Lefebvre might buy some more Tesla shares. And it's been a long time since I bought some Tesla shares. Probably 2019. 2019 was probably the last time I bought some Tesla shares in the market. So, like I said, man, it's not easy to buy shares when you're up huge. That's beyond huge. Like being up huge is like 100%, right? Or even 50%. When you're up 1,260%, it's a tough thing to be like, I've made over a 10x on this stock and I'm still going to buy it. But that could potentially be the situation for me. So time will tell. We'll keep a track on that one and see kind of what happens there, okay? Next one up here is Revolve. So Revolve, let me be clear about Revolve, okay? I have had some thoughts recently when it comes to Revolve about potentially actually selling the stock and taking my profits out, okay? And I kind of looked at it because it's a stock we're up huge on, right? Up 354%, up nearly $100,000 just on this account. I own another account as well, which we're doing absolutely amazing on. And I've had some thoughts about maybe cash out of the stock. But I've decided probably unlikely I cash out of the stock, okay? Probably unlikely. Although we've made some amazing gains on it and, it never hurts to take a profit. I look at the stock. It trades at a forward P of 53, which, by the way, that number might be low. They could actually be much more profitable than that. It trades at something like a $3-something billion market cap. And when I look at Revolve, I think they have the opportunity to build one of the most profitable clothing companies we've seen ever, to be completely honest, because of their e-commerce, because of their client base, and kind of their brand strength and things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if long-term this is one of the most profitable business models as far as a clothing company, a retailer that we've ever seen. Obviously, they're an e-commerce player, but I really like this stock a lot. And so it's not a stock I can buy, no doubt, but this whole thought I kind of had recently about, just kind of like maybe I cash. No, I don't want to cash this stock. I'll continue to let this one ride. Maybe it's volatile and moves all around. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to let this one ride because at the end of the day, I've kind of always had a thought that maybe Revolve can become a $10 billion plus company down the road based upon a net income in the future of potentially $400-500 million. It's going to take them a while to get there, several years. Maybe 4-6 years, something like that. But I do think it's a possibility that this business model gets to 400 mil net income, if not higher than that down the road. And so you could easily slap a $10 billion valuation if this company has $400 million in net income. Plus, they still have growth at that stage, right? So, yeah, needless to say, Revolve, I can't cash that one, man. I can't cash it, although it is tempting to take that profit and move it somewhere else. Skyworks Solutions. Skyworks Solutions. This is a stock I am actually thinking about buying. Okay, so Skyworks Solutions, we're up 123% on it, up 60,000. But when it comes to Skyworks Solutions, I think we should be up far more than that. Don't let that 123% number or that 60K number deceive you, okay? This is a company in Skyworks Solutions here that I look at and I say, okay, they're in front of the 5G revolution, which is a multi-year huge expansion for Skyworks Solutions, right? And 5G devices have really just started taking off literally in the past 12 months, right? Literally just in the past 12 months, 5G devices have just started. Once again, this is something that's going to take, 3, 5, 7 years to kind of play out, right? And if Skyworks has such an amazing management team, they're always looking forward to the next technology and being the next big player in that market, in this market. And so I look at this stock and I say, although we're up big, we've been in the stock since probably 2018, I believe it was 2018, I started buying Skyworks Solutions. And so it's done well for us, but honestly, I think the stock should be up way more than that, especially when you take into account the business model, the management team, the financials. And look at this, trades at a forward P of 18. For this type of growth in Skyworks Solutions, I look at that and I say, that's just, I believe it's an undervalued asset, and I believe there's a high probability that they easily beat numbers over the next year. Skyworks Solutions is famous for beating numbers quarter in, quarter out. So actually, I'm very much contemplating buying Skyworks Solutions. There's kind of a weakness in semiconductors right now, right? Because there's been kind of a situation where, semiconductor industry is just in a situation where there's not enough capacity right now. And so it's hurt all semiconductor companies right now, but that is a short-term thing going on. Whenever I'm judging stocks, right, I'm judging these stocks off the next 3 to 5 years. So whatever is going on over the next several quarters when it comes to capacity in the semiconductor industry doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care. Like I'm in this stock for several years out, right? And so that's why I try not to get too caught up. Wall Street loves to get caught up in the short term, the short term numbers and quarterly numbers, things like that. I try not to play that game. I'm trying to play the next 3 to 5 years. And I really like Skyworks' position over the next 3 to 5 years. And I like the high probability they're going to up their dividends substantially over not just the next year, but over the next several years when it comes to this company. So yeah, Skyworks Solutions, definitely actually a stock I'm going to potentially buy, and even though we're up over 100% on that one, okay? Next stock up here, this is a frustrating situation, okay? This FUBO TV, okay? I can never pronounce it right. Somebody tell me in the comment section, how do you say that word? Is it FOBO? Is it FUBO? Is it FUBO? I never know how to say it, okay? Anyways, I bought this stock. Literally, it was probably maybe a week ago or so, okay? Maybe a week ago or so, and the stock is just skyrocketing. I mean, you got to be flipping my flapjacks. It's up 30%. 30% that quick? I wanted to buy some more of this stock, man. Oh my gosh, okay? So this was one I'm going to consider. It's making these ridiculous moves upward, and it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, let me buy another 30K, 40K in the stock when it's going up at the pace it's going up. Today it was up another 13%. This stock's on a whole other level in terms of literally since I bought it, it's like somebody shot a rocket in the air, psh, and they're like, Jeremy bought, psh, and now it's up 30%. I'm like, literally, I think it was a week or less than 2 weeks ago, I bought this stock. It's just gone beast mode, okay? And, yeah, needless to say, I'm actually excited about the company long term. It's just at this pace, I'm like, can I buy some more shares? Or are you going to go up 100% before I get to buy some more? So what I'm hoping is actually the stock goes down in the month of June or over the next few trading days and maybe weekends, and maybe we can get somewhat near where my cost basis is, which is $8.27, and then I could build this up into a position. Maybe I have 1,500 shares and 2,000 shares or something like that. I don't usually like to start a position huge, right? And so I didn't. I started this position at $9,100. Usually if I buy into a stock, I usually start the position with anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000, right? That's usually how I start a position. And because essentially a lot of times the stock won't go anywhere in the short term, right? Or it might even go down. So I'm not trying to go all in right away, but obviously in a situation like this where it just goes up 30% and snap of fingers, obviously it would have made sense to just load the boat right away. But hey man, there's reasons I do my, investing the way I do and it works out, but unless it's a situation where the stock just goes parabolic right away. And I got another one of those stocks that has basically done the same exact darn thing, and I want to buy more of this stock too. Palantir, PLTR, what is going on, man? Come on. I literally bought in the stock. I think it was the same day I bought into FUBO, whatever. And look it's already up 17%. Come on, Palantir, chill. I wanted to build a real position in this stock. And how am I going to get a chance to build a position when it's going up this dang fast, man? I mean, we're not talking about this is a year you held the stock and you're up 17%. We're talking this is a week or two, and it's just boom, it's gone crazy, okay? Palantir, okay, let me speak about this one for a moment. Palantir is a very, very hard business model when I first started looking into it and kind of understanding what are they up to? What's the real opportunity here and things like that. So I've spent a lot of time on their investor relations page, listening to conference calls, looking at presentations, watching different interviews and things like that from the CEO. I spent time watching other folks' videos. I know Tom Nash has done a lot of videos on Palantir, and so I've tried to catch up on a lot of his videos and watch those and kind of, see what his opinion is, and just try to read a lot of articles and things like that. I'm trying to gather as much information as possible so I can make a judgment of how big I want the Palantir position to be, right? Because I actually think this company's at the intersection of data and artificial intelligence, which I think is a beautiful thing, and I think their business model is going to be ridiculously sticky long term, which is likely going to make an extremely profitable business model long term. Okay, short term, I'm not the biggest believer in the business model as far as profitability goes. Okay, I think they're going to put up some crazy revenue numbers over the next few years, but I think the real big profitability will start to probably pour in after 2023, and then you'll start to see, oh wow, this business model is actually pretty darn special. Okay, and so yeah, I'm at a stage right now where I started the position, and I'm a little frustrated, to be quite frank, because it's already up 17%, and I'm like, Palantir, could you not have chilled for a little bit? However, what we will say about Palantir is, it's been volatile, and we've seen the stock go back up to $22, $23, $24, and then shoot back down to $20, $19, $18. So just because it's started to go up does not mean it's going to continue to roar higher. It could, and the next thing you know, it's at $40. That is definitely a possibility, but I'm just telling you, I've watched it several times now with Palantir over the last couple months, where the stock would climb to 22, 23, 24, 25, shoot back down to 20, 19, 18. So we'll see what happens here. I started my position, and I'm ready to buy some more darn Palantir if the opportunity is presented. Just chill, Palantir and FUBO. Chill, man. Chill, okay? Chill for a minute, okay? WBA. So this one, I thought I would speak about this one. This one I'm only interested in if it goes under $45 a share. The reason being, okay, let me explain this. The reason I'm only interested in 45 or under is because my cost base is 40, 46, right? But not just that, it's that I already have such a large amount of money in it, right? This is my main account. I hold WBA shares, but I also hold WBA shares in the public account, which is available for everybody in my private stock group to see every single move I ever make in that account, right? And I also hold this in the dividends only account, which is also an account that just dividend stocks can be in that particular account. And that's in my private stock group, and they can see every single move I ever make in that account, okay? And so I hold it in 3 different accounts, maybe even a 4th account. I might even hold it in a Chase account if I remember, okay? I hold it in 3 or 4 different accounts. I have it's a 7-figure position for me. And so when it comes down to WBA, I like this stock a lot. I like the opportunity in front of themselves, the whole Amazon thing, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. That's been talked about for years and years, okay? And, Amazon could be a threat in this space, absolutely, okay? And by the way, WBA is actually, expanding their e-commerce side quite substantially right now, okay? And so, hey, everybody's going to try to eat into everybody's market share maybe a little bit over time. But I love WBA if over the next several years. It's obviously a stock that pays me out. I believe it pays me out 5 figures every 3 months in dividends. So that's nice to accept that dividend money every 3 months, right? And we're up $230,000 on it. I think when it's all said and done, we'll have profited $1 million from the stock between stock gains and dividends and things like that. We'll see what happens, obviously, over time. They got a phenomenal CEO kind of coming in this company who's going to potentially turn it around in a major way. So 45 or under is my price. Now, you can say, if you didn't have a position built, Jeremy, if you hadn't started your position, would you personally be buying the stock? For me personally, probably, yeah. I don't know if I would have bought as heavy. I probably wouldn't have put a mil in the stock, but I probably, when it comes to WBA, if let's say it's at 52 and I hadn't bought the stock yet, I would have probably started a position, but I probably would have done like a quarter mil or so. When I got it at $40, essentially, I just felt like the risk reward was so ridiculously attractive. It was the most attractive risk reward by far and away I could find in the stock market at that particular time. That's why I put that type of money. But at 52, it's attractive, but it's not as attractive. So I'd maybe put like a quarter mil, maybe $300,000 in it or something like that. Okay. So WBA, got an eye on you. Okay. Tattooed Chef. I know we got to talk about this one, because I know folks are like, well, are you done buying? What's going on with that? Okay. When it comes to me and Tattooed Chef, okay. So far, we're up $148,000 just in this account, and I own in other accounts as well, and I own call options in the stock, things like that, okay? So as far as the share straight up, I'm good with what I have, okay? I'm good with what I have. If you add up all the different accounts, I don't know, we're at, maybe 50, 60, 70,000 shares or whatever. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with what I have in TTCF. However, with that being said, if this stock goes back down and to $20 or less, there's no way I can just sit on my hands and not buy any shares. There's no way that can happen, okay? If it even goes remotely there, and let me be clear, if I hadn't already put so dang much money in the stock, I would probably still be buying at 22. It's just I've already put so much in Tattoo Chef that I'm like, I'm good now. I'm comfortable. The risk reward for me is there now. I got my position built. If it goes lower, I'll buy more. If it doesn't, I'm good. I'm good with what I have, okay? The stock has obviously started to move up. As far as call options go, you know, I'm more attracted to call options in this stock than probably, you know, for 2023. I'm probably a little more attracted to that than buying shares straight up because I have so many dang shares. And I do have calls, and I might own, I don't know, might be $50,000 in calls. And all those we're doing really, really well on. I think we're up 40, 50, 60% on those calls. However, with that being said, I bought those calls, I believe, all on the, I think I got all my Tattoo Chef calls, if I recall, on literally 420, which was like the lowest day, if I recall. So we got really fortunate there. I looked at that pricing when it was 15 something a share that day, and I was like, you joking me or you kidding me? Like, this has to be the biggest joke I've ever seen. And yeah, so that's where I'm at with Tattooed Chef, okay? The Planet. Man, I got to tell you guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm thinking about buying more Planet stock, okay? I really am. I think what folks are waiting for when it comes to Planet stock, okay? So this particular account, we're up 107% on. We're up $171,000 so far in the Planet. 320 cost basis, okay? This account here, this is our lowest cost basis one. We have way less shares in this one, though. $1.25 cost basis. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was the woo-wee. Okay, $1.25 cost basis. Oh my gosh. Okay. When it comes to the Planet, okay, I'm actually contemplating buying more of the stock. I think everybody's waiting to see how Orange County opens, how much demand there is for the Orange County store, because everybody knows the Vegas location is crazy busy, doing huge numbers. They know their products are expanding around Vegas, and the Medicine store, from our understanding, is doing pretty darn well as well, right? But everybody wants to see, how does Orange County open? And here we are, we're about, a month, maybe 2 months away from Orange County store opening. When that store opens, we're going to get to see what that sort of demand is, that initial demand. And if that store opens and it's already packed from day one, oh my gosh, okay? I think that's what everybody's waiting for. They're like, well, what if that store opens? This is their third store, and it's a first store out of Nevada. What if it opens and it's a ghost town and hardly anybody's there? And hey, that's totally a possibility, okay? I don't think that's going to happen. But what happens if that store opens and it is jam-packed? And they're starting to put up, days when they're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars of sales, maybe even, a 300K day, 400K day. And then they're expanding their products more rapidly than folks expect around California, because then they can start to do that. You run into all these scenarios, and so that's why I'm actually strongly considering adding some more shares before the Orange County store opens. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely something I have to consider. It would hurt me to raise my cost bases from $1.25 and the other one was $3.20. But at the end of the day, with where I think this company is potentially going long term, I might have to make the darn move, okay? So don't be surprised if I buy some Planet in the month of June, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you want to check out the private stock group, you want to learn more about that, the private Discord chat, the coaching program, everything like that, check out the first pinned comment down there. If you want to join our value newsletter email list, that's brand new and that's absolutely free to join. Check out the second pinned comment down there. Much love as always, guys, and peace. And have a great day.